Hello, everybody. This is out of character for the show, but we need to settle on the bench for just a second to talk about the sponsor of today's show, Knack. Do you carry around a lot in your backpack like how LeBron James had to carry the Cleveland Cavaliers to 4 straight NBA Finals appearances? Does your messy and disorganized backpack make you want to pull a Bobby Knight and throw a chair across the room? Well, with Knack bags, you can look that frustration straight in the face and tell it, you're out of here!
Knack bags are a combination of your everyday backpack, a travel backpack, and a laptop bag. You have several pockets around the bag, plus a patent-pending hidden expandable carry-on bag that'll help you keep everything you're carrying around organized. Pockets on pockets like Patrick Mahomes picks up passing yard after passing yard. Plus, the interior is as padded as a lineman, allowing you to keep all of your electronics safe and sound. The best part, you don't have to look like the student-athlete that just came out of a 3-hour lecture class. No matter the need for your bag, Knack fits your lifestyle. Its look is sleek, organized, professional, and stylish, allowing you to look your best while you work your best.
And right now, if you head to knackbags.com for a limited time, use the promo code BENCH with your next order to get a free TSA-approved lock with purchase. Make sure to add the TSA lock to your cart with your Knack bag of choice and use the code BENCH at checkout to get it for free. Knack, the one-bag life.
This is Empty the Bench with Tom Albano.
He may be on the field April 9th or April 10th. It sounds stupid to say Aaron Judge wouldn't be in the opening day lineup, but with how baseball is these days, you never know.
Nick Morgeson.
You're obviously delusional. I've never seen Baker Mayfield before. Now, like Nick said, when you're replacing him with somebody like Deshaun Watson, who is an alleged domestic abuser, you can't win here. You can't win.
And Nick Federa.
Have him wear a long trench coat, a fake mustache, maybe sunglasses, and go, "Hi, I'm Kyle Irvington."
Empty the Bench starts now.
The Padres are releasing or trading Fernando Tatis. You are an idiot.
Yes, but you're our idiot.
You're welcome.
Welcome to Empty the Bench, episode number 127. Tom Albano here along with Nick Federa and Nick Morgeson. And gentlemen, the NFL world decided to blow up this week where more off-season happenings are occurring. We have more MLB. We got more MLB we got to talk about. And we got to do a little strut for a local college here.
Hello, New Jersey. Hello, New Jersey. Somehow we made it to the Elite Eight.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm not from Jersey.
Well,
right.
I guess we're considered local. I guess to that region at least.
Tri-state area.
Yeah.
Tri-state area.
Speaking of tri-state, our top story today involves New York City Mayor Eric Adams. So,
well, before we go further, do we want to hear from our boneheaded New York City Mayor Eric Adams?
I want to explain first before we get into the full context of his quote.
Remarks.
So,
Well,
do you remember last week we talked about how Aaron Judge and Kyrie Irving, about Kyrie, being there but not in the locker room where he gets fined, and being in the arena but not playing, and what the Yankees would look like without Aaron Judge and all the fallout? Well, that doesn't matter anymore, I guess.
Yes, because he folded faster than the Flash doing laundry. And at this point, he relaxed the man. It's basically like the mandates are kind of still in place, but there's one big exception.
Private sector, my ass. It doesn't exist.
Private sector, screw you. If you're an athlete or entertainer, welcome aboard.
You're fine. You're like the bouncer of Club New York. You're fine. Fuck off. You're fine. You're fuck off. You're fine.
You know what? I'm starting early.
The show didn't even get to the 3-minute mark.
I'm so tired of this. Like, Nick and I talked about this on Beyond the Bench. We're talking about it now. We've spent a whole week stewing on this because we look at a mandate where 1,500 people were fired from the medical space of all spaces dealing with COVID because they didn't want to get a vaccine shot. And now you're going to let Aaron Judge and Kyrie Irving say, well, screw you and your vaccine mandate. I'm going to come back on the field anyway because our idiot mayor said, you know what?
Because we're above the law as athletes and celebrities.
We're above the law. You see what it is? However, I have seen this broached in some circles, but I'll broach the topic here. What if Aaron Judge is just fucking with us all and he's actually vaccinated?
Oh, come on. You said this.
What if we're all wrong?
Only because, I mean, it's still no, but it's still bad. Even if it was, it's still bad because this reminds us of a certain somebody. I'm gonna already get Nick started on it. There was somebody who refused to answer the question and finally relented that they were vaccinated.
RELAX.
No, wrong.
Close.
Oh,
Your other favorite person in the whole wide world.
what? LeBron?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I don't have a sound effect for that. He's too stupid for a sound effect.
It's easier. Yeah. Wait, what did you just say?
He said
I said he's too
stupid
stupid.
for the soundboard.
I said he's too stupid for a sound effect.
Wow.
But at this point, ladies
This
and
just
gentlemen,
in, Nick Morrison blocked by LeBron James on Twitter.
I'm surprised he hasn't done it already.
I mean,
He blocks shots in the finals and blocks people on Twitter.
yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, the way I look at this, and I broke out a new sound effect knowing that we were going to talk about this, and this is what I have to say to Eric Adams.
Vaccination.
Yeah, because I'm so done with this.
That easy.
No, well, you know what? Since we're so frustrated about Eric Adams, why don't we have Eric Adams explain it? Because Eric Adams has already done a fantastic job trying to get the vaccine mandate to a perfect law. Go ahead. Hey, Mr. Adams, what do you think about this?
Mr. Mayor, to the issue of the double standard, where Kyrie Irving and Aaron Judge don't have to get vaccinated to play, but teachers have to get vaccinated to teach. I'm vaccinated, but I need that requirement to get into my newsroom. What's with the double standard?
No double standard. I made a decision based on the information that I received from my health team, and I have the obligation to make those decisions on how I'm going to move my city forward. So you may consider this a double standard. I consider the analysis that I made, and I'm comfortable with my decision.
Part of that decision, Mr. Mayor, was to ensure the competitiveness of the Yankees and the Nets come playoff time. Aaron Judge and Kyrie Irving are two key players. Will the city be exempting them from any other regulations to ensure they can be on the field? Can they speed to get to the stadium to make it on time?
I am clear that I am going to make the determinations for the city of New York as the mayor, and I made that determination within the power vested in me as the mayor of the city of New York.
I mean,
Why you sound like he's taking calls from WFAN listeners?
Wait a minute. I think it was even funnier that the cars were going behind him as loud as they were. You couldn't hear a damn thing that he was saying. But I'm just going to say it. Wait, I'm just going to say it for Nick and get it out of the way.
Congratulations, dickweeds.
He basically Eric Adams said, and here's more quotes from the press conference over at Citi Field. We have to be on the field in order to win. This is about putting New York City performers on a level playing field. Yeah, because you couldn't, you couldn't just have maybe mandated visiting athletes to also be vaccinated like Toronto is doing? Oh, that's too easy. That's too easy.
That would actually make sense. Are you kidding me? There is no sense in this dojo.
Guys.
I know that. However, greed also mixes together with stupidity at a remarkable level here. You don't see that?
Go ahead.
No. I feel like I'm trying to find the story here, but I've heard something that basically Adams and his crew were saying that this is actually going to help benefit lower income people because it's going to generate money for the city and people are going to spend and yada yada. I didn't realize a double standard is actually a good thing.
See, this is all based upon a faulty premise, ladies and gentlemen. The faulty premise, of course, being that COVID is done, meaning that the infection rate in the city is supposedly 0. However, if you actually look at the data, it's not 0. COVID is not done with us. I've said it on Beyond the Bench, and I'm saying it here. I've had to keep saying it. I don't know how many times I've had to say it. COVID is not done with us.
Nick, I hate to say it. I hate to be the one to say it. I don't think COVID's ever going away.
No, I don't think COVID's going away either. But when you have dumb people like this,
RELAX.
when you have dumb people like that, when you have dumb people like that, where all they're going to say is, no problem, I get immunized, I don't need the vaccine, I'm allergic, which was his dumb
Immunized.
I'm a big, tough, manly man, and I eat nails for breakfast.
And now I'm going to go count my toes.
He reminds me of
2, 7, 8, 5, 15, 10.
Hike.
I was going to say, it reminds me of the cowboy from Looney Tunes. What was the character's name?
Yosemite Sam.
Yeah, Yosemite. It reminds me of Yosemite Sam. Fire! 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 And I'm like, but nothing. But unfortunately, he's firing blanks instead of actual bullets. So
at this point, and it's even dumber. It's even dumber and more harmful to say, just live with it, because people. There are some people. There are a lot of people that don't want to get COVID. Besides, with long COVID and everything that it does to you, even for mild cases, nobody's talking about that when they should be. But no. We need to treat Aaron Judge and Kyrie Irving with kid gloves. I know. Look, whether he's vaccinated or not, Aaron Judge, meaning, we're going to find out. We're going to find out.
But wait a
second.
second.
When they go to Toronto, when they go to Toronto, yeah.
But if you listen to something specific that Eric Adams said, that we're happy to get these guys back on the field, he was talking about the athletes specifically. He wasn't talking about the 1,500 people that got fired, and I think like the 11,000 plus that are on paid leave because they won't get the vaccine.
That's who this is for.
Right, but he just mentioned the two guys because of their names and their status. How about
it's about those two. It's about those two.
I hate to say this.
It's never about the true New Yorkers who are going to work every day. Some of them who had to work through the pandemic.
I hate to say this. I could give two shits about Aaron Judge or Kyrie Irving right now, to be quite honest.
And it's not like you give a crap about protecting the people that go to the stadium anyway, because you dropped the friggin' mask mandate.
Well, that's neither here nor there. But at the same time,
you had it as again. This is not about protecting people. It never was.
By the way, and I'm going to say this again, and people have gotten mad at me for saying this. You're sending the wrong message. For someone like a Kyrie Irving who has millions of followers, you have Aaron Judge who's got millions of followers. You're sending the wrong message by saying that these guys. No, you're sending the wrong message that they're unvaccinated. Kids who are not vaccinated, younger adults who are not vaccinated. You're sending the wrong message because now you're making it okay for athletes who are not vaccinated to just say, "F you, we don't need it." That's what I'm talking. That's the big problem here.
Meanwhile, we need because I'm thinking about kids in schools. Meanwhile, kids in schools need vaccines for what? Like mumps and everything. You couldn't have just add COVID as part of that. Again, maybe because I'm thinking with logic.
Well, unfortunately,
you're actually using brain cells, though.
Well, I'm like,
you're not just scooping them out with an ice cream scooper.
Ew. But I was going to say that you're not thinking like Aaron Rodgers, or you're not thinking like LeBron James. You're not thinking like Kyrie Irving, where in their own minds.
I'm not even thinking like Eric Adams.
Well, that's true. You're right.
You're not even thinking like Eric Adams, and I know Eric Adams is getting advice from doctors saying, "Don't do that." But
that's the weird thing. Like if you listen to that again, he says, I spoke to the scientists, and they told me it's okay to drop the vaccine mandate. No, it's not. No, it's not.
If a stranger tells a 2-year-old, it's okay. You can eat that 5-pound bar of candy. Yeah, it doesn't make it okay. Oh, an adult told me I could do it.
Well, I'll go one better.
I was going to say, when the city council here in New York, who are left leaning and always support Democrats, is actually pissed off at you. You done screwed up.
Screwed up there, Eric.
But I'll give you one better, which is the dropping the vaccine mandate is like telling a kid to get in a van with a stranger and go off. If they say, here's candy, come get it.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly go that far.
No, but that's what you're doing. You're basically telling everybody to run wild and do whatever the hell they want.
Because the people in the private sector still have to be vaccinated. It's just only if you're a celebrity. You're
Only
above
if
everything.
you have a certain net worth.
What do you
Only
think
if
the
you have a
private
certain
sector
network.
is? The private sector is what? Mostly celebrities. So this actually makes no sense if you think about it.
But private businesses still have the mandates on them.
Okay, what are 4 of the largest private sector businesses that we talk about on this show? MLB, NFL, NHL, NBA.
Non-celebrity. Okay, but non-celebrity though.
But I'm just pointing out the irony that we're talking about private sector businesses, and
Right.
4 of the largest ones
But
we
it's
talk
not
about.
like it's not like we can let the Mets off the hook either, because apparently they've got at least 10 people
Yeah, but
on reportedly that
But
are unvaccinated.
This season they don't have to go to Toronto.
that's true.
Therein-
But at the same time,
therein lies the rub.
But at the same time, you don't hear Mets players coming out and being stupid when the media asks them questions about the vaccine. No, that's only Aaron Judge.
I say we won't know anything about the Mets maybe now till next year, depending on if they get a road series in Toronto when MLB is going to mandate that all 30 teams have to pretty much face one another at least once during the season.
So what happens if whatever this BA2 variant comes back out again and we have all these issues again? Like, is MLB just going to say, no, maybe we don't care? What?
They won't care. Cases are going to rise, but they're going to insist on people on having people at the ballparks to just make sure to get back to as much of normalcy as possible.
There's one way to solve this: force the vaccine. That's it.
Again, you would think it'd be that easy.
You would think it would be that easy, but
Actually,
no.
it's very easy because they're a private sector and they can do what they want. They're a private business; they can do what they want.
No, but they can do what they want. But again, it's all in the interest of public health. Do you care about? Do you care about people other than yourself?
You know what? They could also say, "Hey, it's part of conduct for playing and earning your contract."
Again, Nick. Again, this is too much logic.
I'm just saying,
It's the easiest thing in the world, but it's more difficult than pulling a tooth with a
No,
rubber
but-
band.
No, but I'm saying if Rob Manfred really, and we talk about clown fraud a bunch, but what I was going to say, if Rob really wanted to be a hero, I know that's ironic coming out of my mouth. If he actually made it part of the rules of conduct that you have to be vaccinated, how many players do you think would run and get a vaccine knowing that they're not going to get paid?
Nick, first of all, no, because the MLBPA would fight it. Second of all, you think Rob Manfred wants to be a hero. You think he's focused on those rules? No, he's focused on different rules that we're going to get to later.
Well, the one thing I will say is, first of all, I don't know if the if the MLBPA fights that, we're just going to end up in a lockout again and we're not going to play games. So they will either ship up or ship out is what they'll do.
XLB.
Well, am I wrong, Nick?
No, you're not. You're not.
Okay. So if they made the rules, either what is the terminology? You have to lay in it when you do something stupid or you fall in
You
it.
made your bed, now you have to lay in it.
Well, that's going to be the MLBPA if they don't ship up and get the vaccine.
All right. I want to talk about half your subjects. Well, I don't know if I could say half.
Not
but
for me.
I want to talk about more fun subjects. Let's talk about all this NFL craziness, and let's start with the fact that Tyreek Hill somehow got traded away from the Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins.
Now, earlier in the day,
You get the out of here.
Thanks, Mr. Jets fan, for letting us know how you really feel.
which leads to my point. Earlier in the day, Tyreek Hill it was rumored that the Jets had a deal in place to go get him. And apparently the Chiefs were willing to do that. They were willing to accept that deal.
It was a lesser deal. I'm not even kidding. It was a lesser deal.
That he took.
No. The Chiefs took a lesser prospect. I mean, a bigger prospect. Wait a minute. Let me get my numbers right. It was a lesser prospect deal, and it was turned down. Okay?
With that, maybe this was part of it, because with this trade, Tyreek Hill also agreed to a new 4-year, $120 million extension that includes $72.2 million guaranteed.
I mean, by the way, NFL wide receivers in the offseason are making a killing. A killing! It's unreal. Devontae Adams at the top of that list.
What Stephen Douglas is like,
And the reason,
controversy? What controversy?
well, the reason supposedly they did this deal is because now the Chiefs have $70 million in cap space now. I mean, an additional $70 million in cap space. But you also just traded one of the top 2 or top 3 wide receivers in the NFL. So was it worth it?
Plus, you traded him within your own division. So
no, you mean within the conference?
Within the conference,
you traded him within your own conference. So it's not like you're trading him to the Bears and you'll never see him.
Wait, but you know what? This is basically, if we're talking about the Devontae Adams situation, it was a basically situation to the Packer fans because they obviously care about Aaron Rodgers more than anybody else on that team.
And Aaron Rodgers is going to bring down that team. I think Johnny from Game On tune in every Tuesday. Yeah, I think he's right. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the death of that team.
He's turning into more of an albatross than we already thought he was. And
the cap numbers are the scariest thing to me in that deal.
But I'm not even talking about the cap numbers specifically. I'm talking about the intransigence that it must be his way and the inflexibility that the roster must be shaped to his liking.
It's not even that.
It leaves the front office with very few options here.
But wait a minute. It's not even that. The reason they had to trade him is because they can't afford him with the albatross contract is the word I'm stealing a word from you. But that contract is ridiculous. 150 plus over 3 years.
Okay, well, let's have a look at the Kansas City depth chart now that Tyreek Hill is gone. Because with Tyreek Hill gone, I mean, who the hell is Patrick Mahomes really going to throw to?
No one. Kelsey.
Yeah, probably Kels. Kels will probably be the only one there. And
I mean, they have no one. They or Pringle maybe. I don't know.
Oh no! I apologize. They have Juju Smith-Schuster now. He's gonna go make a TikTok after every catch.
I mean,
what a ridiculous deal that was.
I've always liked Juju Smith-Schuster. I really thought he really needed to get the fuck out of Pittsburgh.
Speaking of, I completely forgot about this move. Speaking of the Packers, the Chiefs now have Marcus Valdes-Scantling.
Right, because
which means
because of the money. Wait a minute. Because of the money, because they had to give Aaron Rodgers. Bye-bye, everybody. It was nice knowing you.
So Aaron Rodgers' weapons right now are Alan Lazard, and they're probably going to draft if they do their draft right, they're probably going to draft a rookie wide receiver. But this is the Packers that we're talking about here.
No, we're just going to waste a pick on a backup quarterback, which is never going to see the field. I don't feel the love.
You can always talk to the Bears about Allen Robinson.
Oh no, you can't. You can't do that because he's been moved. He actually signed with the Rams after the Rams traded away Robert Woods to the Titans, who around the same time released Julio Jones.
So we've got a little bit of wide receiver musical chairs here, and see, I like the Titans picking up Robert Woods. I mean, Robert Woods is he's a great receiver. He's got great.
But it makes no sense. You got rid of a top flight guy, not as much anymore, in Julio Jones. But
I mean, I guess they have Cooper Kupp because they have Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson, and maybe now they're gonna have what's it called? I guess the Rams are going to be interested in signing OBJ back unless they're going to get somebody else, or maybe they're happy with Van Jefferson as the number 3.
No, or he just wants to go back to Cleveland and be miserable.
Oh, Odell. Yeah, well, we'll talk about Cleveland in a little bit.
We'll get there in just a sec. But, I mean, I've always liked Allen Robinson.
He has been, I know his value has gone down. I know his value has gone down as a wide receiver, but that's not all his fault because the last few seasons he's had to deal with Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles.
And that's not exactly a feast of competent football.
Wait a minute, Mitchell Trubisky, the guy who just got 2 years, $28 million with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, with Pittsburgh, let's see. With Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger just retired. You have coming up. I know this quarterback draft class sucks. But
It's bad.
But you have Kenny Pickett, who is, went to school at Pitt, big Pittsburgh guy, local guy. No, we're gonna get it to one of the biggest busts of a quarterback in the last how many years.
God,
The weird thing is he's still an upgrade over Ben over the last 2 years.
God, I didn't think I was going to break this out for this,
He's
but
still an upgrade.
Well, let me ask, who is the circus? Is it the Steelers or is it the whole NFL?
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All of it. All of it. Everyone. You have to understand something though. It is weapons of good, if not great wide receivers have always been at a premium. So it really doesn't surprise me that they're getting paid a shit ton of money and moving around the way they are.
I mean, yes, I agree. And this NFL offseason is like completely exciting now. This has been an amazing offseason so far. Let's talk about Julio for just a second before we move on. I mean, in a way, I'm kind of not surprised because Julio spent like a bunch of last season on the injured list. It just breaks my heart because this guy, once upon a time, was an absolute beast of a wide receiver. And he still could have the capabilities of being a beast of a wide receiver, but he gets hurt so much. And, I mean, it's been quite a fall since the Falcons ended up losing the Super Bowl.
Since 28-3.
Yeah.
The problem is Julio got the stretch and got out of there.
Okay, you know what? Before we go on to the other Dolphins thing, I just brought up Julio and the Falcons. Let's, I guess, go to that one now. So
this one makes no sense. Okay, because I was looking at this. First of all, the Colts got him for a 3rd round pick only, and then the Falcons said, you know what? Marcus Mariota, that's it.
So here's my question. How the hell did Matt Ryan go for more than Robert Woods?
Hang on, let me see if I can if I have a calculator, I can see if I can figure this out.
We're gonna do math on this show.
Oh no. Oh wait, I'll get you some waiting music.
Carry the one.
What happened?
I don't think it liked that.
So Matt Ryan gets traded for a 3rd. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Titans and Robert Woods trade. That was it for a 6th? I want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, 2023 6th. This makes no sense.
So you know what? If you're going to trade draft picks, you might as well do it in a draft in a shitty quarterback class draft. I think doing math, writing it out, doing your work and using a calculator is too much for this.
Carry the two.
No. I think we need something more. We need an abacus.
Shit. This is why I wish I had a big bag of props.
So by the way, the Colts, 5th straight year they're gonna have a fifth different quarterback.
See, that was not the quarterback I was expecting them to get. I was expecting like a Jimmy G or a Baker Mayfield. It's
like, wait, you wanted to get worse? Did you want it to get worse?
Wait a minute.
I think Matt Ryan still has some abilities. I don't think this is a step worse, but this is not a step forward. This is a sideways spinning.
Yeah.
It's like neutral. The line didn't move. And at the same time, Matt Ryan, I think, is one of those guys that would need a change. Look at Matt Stafford. Look what he did. He left the Lions and won a Super Bowl. Okay,
I mean, it's pretty clear by this point the Falcons are tearing it down. They're going for the full, complete rebuild mode.
But I'm saying, who knows? Maybe he can actually rejuvenate the Colts. Who knows? Don't ask Carson Wentz how that went.
Poor Kyle Pitts. Here he is coming out, the best tight end, is projected to have an amazing, future. And now, what the hell is even his future?
And now he's stuck in the equivalent.
I mean, although if you do trade him now, you're talking about a rebuild. What could the Falcons get for that?
Nothing.
I mean,
Nothing.
Really? For Kyle Pitts?
I don't think anybody wants. I think that they think the Falcons are damaged goods at this point.
But this is Kyle Pitts, who has. But you're judging based on the team. Kyle Pitts himself, though, is a.
You know what's going to hurt worse than Kyle Pitts? Calvin Ridley is the one that's going to hurt because now they can't even trade him if they wanted to.
Okay, yeah, Calvin Ridley, I think, was damaged goods before they even officially tore.
And by the way, make sure you go to DraftKings and use discount code Ridley for 15% off.
Jesus Christ! All right, let's go back to the Dolphins for a second. How the hell? What happened here that Tom Brady nearly could have landed with the Dolphins?
Wait a minute. That was my reaction when I saw this story.
was this a nothing burger all along? Because
No, I actually found out that SI was one of the first to get on this. And for some reason, he was going to be in Florida one way or the other, whether it was the Bucs or the Dolphins. I think he just wants to retire because he's of old man status at this point.
Yeah, there's just been so many rumors that, the Dolphins were planning to pursue Tom Brady. Actually, you know what's funny? NBC Sports reported this 4 weeks ago, and not only were they looking after Tom Brady, they were looking to get maybe Sean Payton back into coaching as their new coach.
I mean, that comes with its own set of baggage.
Oh, speaking of
the problems he's had with substances, that'd be like, yeah, Scarface, you can dive into Cocaine Mountain.
Oh my God! Ow! Well, speaking of,
I hope he's clean now.
Well, you're speaking up with the Dolphins. Between this and getting Tyreek Hill, I guess no repercussions for what happened with the Brian Flores controversy.
Yeah, I mean, controversy? What controversy? I don't know what you're talking about. I cannot see. Look at me. I am blind.
Wait a minute.
I do not see any controversy. I do not know what you are talking about.
Did you just become like a tiny Italian man with a mustache?
I don't know what that was.
Okay. Just checking. But how scary would this have been if Tom Brady actually ended up with the Dolphins and then this trade happened?
The Dolphins would have immediately been a Super Bowl favorite.
Well, the Bucs are immediate Super Bowl favorite. All of a sudden, they went from being at the bottom of the barrel to being a Super Bowl favorite again.
Oh, speaking of, so remember when we just talked about how Tom Brady coming back was probably in a way to convince, the Bucs to remain? Well, I mean, Chris Godwin, I think, is already remaining, and now Leonard Fournette has re-signed with the Bucs because Tom Brady came back.
He is Pied Piper.
By the way, can we just say Leonard Fournette should go to Tom Brady, buy him a nice bottle of wine, and say, thank you for having me back after coming out of retirement?
I mean, yeah.
Or avocado ice cream, whichever one he prefers.
Avocado ice cream.
That's what he eats. That's part of the TV. That's part of the TB12 diet.
Yeah. Still, that sounds absolutely disgusting.
I mean,
I feel like one of us. I feel like it'd be really good content if one of us just went on the TB12 diet.
I don't hate myself enough for that.
Yeah, I don't hate myself that much, Nick.
I heard that diet is brutal.
I mean, if he was willing to sponsor us, if he was willing to kick a few bucks that way, I mean, shit, I'll lick a Penn Station bathroom clean if that's it.
Oh God! Oh, wow! Didn't see that one. I wasn't even prepared for that.
And there's our quote for next week.
Oh wow! Did not see that one coming.
That might actually be a quote worthy of even Beyond the Bench standards.
Oh God! All I'm gonna say is,
look at all the failure.
Okay, let's go back to the Browns now. Let's go back to Cleveland. So, Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, released a statement earlier in this week following the acquisition of Deshaun Watson. So let's see if we can get this statement up here, because there's a couple of different things that we have to talk about with the Browns. So let's start with this statement. I'll read it word for word here. Our organization did a tremendous amount of background on Deshaun. We understand the concerns and questions that exist, but are confident in the extensive work Andrew and his staff have done to feel confident about him joining our organization. It was important for us to meet with Deshaun in person as part of our team's evaluation process. we had a candid conversation regarding his approach to coming into our organization community. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to coach Deshaun. He is ready to put in the hard work needed to help our team improve and make a positive impact in our community. Positive impact after he's still in the midst of his controversy with the 22 sexual misconduct allegations.
Top forward, on the forward, I'll take the show me deflecting. Ding, 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 ding.
FBI, open up!
Ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to tell you, and I know it's not going to be a surprise to any of you. They didn't do any research. They didn't do.
They did nothing.
Nothing.
They were just waiting for
No,
all
they
this
did
to
do
blow
something.
over.
They did do something. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Well.
That's a form of research. See, I
Is
had
it?
to figure out how best to put my my hands over my ears and over my eyes.
Well, that just sounds like a form of.
statement-
Wait. Is ignorance considered research?
It is.
I
bliss.
mean, some people are dedicated to it to the point of research. So yeah.
All right, so that statement actually prompted a response from Tony Buzbee, your old friend.
No.
Who is representing the 22 women. Now, again, Deshaun, he has been, he isn't going to get criminally charged anymore. He's not going to face any jail time, but the civil suits are still there. And Tony Buzbee claims that not the Browns, nor any of the other 31 NFL teams ever reached out to him about the ongoings of the case and anything about possibly Deshaun, in an attempt to sign or trade for Deshaun, rather.
And I can guarantee you all they did was say, did it happen, Deshaun? No. Okay, I'm satisfied.
Well, at his introductory press conference, Deshaun basically said, he basically denied the allegations.
Yeah, he said it didn't happen. So it's basically, he said he didn't do it? Okay, let's break for lunch.
It's my word against yours. And in response to Tony Buzbee's claims, I do feel the annoyance of Nick, but for the annoyance that this is the NFL. You were expecting somebody to reach out to you?
You were expecting people to actually care about sexual assault or domestic abuse? Look at the track record here.
The problem is when you have a. The problem
Again,
is when you.
Once is an aberration, twice is a habit.
The problem is when you have a hack lawyer that you pay 5 cents for. That's the advice you get.
Whether he's an ambulance chaser or not, it doesn't make what Deshaun allegedly did any less disgusting.
No, and I think Tom was so shocked he froze. But anyway.
Oh God, I need to get a picture of that. Oh my God, I'm taking a picture of that.
No, don't take a picture of it. What are you doing? That's awful. Really? You are so mean. Well, we'll take him down for a second while he's getting that figured out.
Oh, God. Choking to death.
No, but the whole Tony Buzbee claim, where I'm just like, I said, he's a hacky lawyer worth 5 cents. What do you get for 5 cents? Nothing. You get absolutely nothing. You get fake claims, and you get a bunch of. I'm not saying that the 22 lawsuits are fake claims. Let's see if we got him back.
Okay, so it's actually starting to storm pretty bad here in New York.
Yeah, here too. But I was starting to say, I think what you were hearing, Tom, that when you have a 5 cent lawyer, and what do you think you're going to get for 5 cents? A bunch of nonsense.
But again, it doesn't make what Deshaun allegedly did any less. I mean,
No.
I don't think that they could have conducted their own research without even going through Tony Buzbee to get to speak to these women.
Yes, and I think Cleveland was just so desperate to get out of Baker Mayfield land
For some strange reason.
Wait a minute. They haven't technically yet because they refused to trade him.
Yeah.
Well, out of the main wide receiver position, despite the fact that, but basically, I mean, main quarterback position. But basically, I was just going to say the reason I bring up wide receivers because what wide receivers does he have? Odell. I mean, he's interested in coming back to Cleveland, but once Deshaun gets the hammer dropped on him, whatever kind of suspension it is, then he'll have to play with Baker again. You know how bad that mess is going to be. Jarvis Landry wants out of Cleveland. Rashard Higgins is already gone. What wide receivers do you have? And Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, you're really going to sacrifice their production to have somebody like Deshaun?
If Odell was smart, he would learn from LeBron James the first time and say, stay out of Cleveland because it doesn't win any championships.
Oh, he's not going back to Cleveland.
He can't. Odell cannot go back to
He'll
Cleveland.
go to the Patriots before he goes to Cleveland.
You're telling no. I think he should stick with the Rams. You're telling me if you're the Rams, you have Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, Odell, and Van Jefferson. Yeah, you could have Robert Woods.
You have an open spot now with Robert Woods gone. I mean,
I know, but my point is, you're telling me you don't want to bring back all the wide receivers you just had on a championship season?
I mean, and having him for a full season. I mean, like,
well, I know he's hurt. I know Odell is hurt, but having him, at the ready once he comes back. My point is Cleveland has no shot, and honestly, I think that's part of why they traded for Deshaun is because they recognize where this next season is going, and they're basically saying, okay, we're going to throw the towel in on this season and go through Deshaun suspension and everything and hope that the next season we can get back. Essentially, they're going to flush this one season down in the toilet. But, I mean, if you think that they're just going to tank for one season, I think you have to be real because you have to consider this. Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. But Cincinnati, I think, has already proved they're going to, this could be their division for years to come. And the Ravens, as long as they still have Lamar Jackson and company, they still have, they still could make a run in. So,
I guess we're not talking. I guess we're not stealing the line from Bill Belichick. We're off to Cincinnati anymore.
No, but I think Cleveland has to have an honest look at itself. Is Deshaun really going to help this team?
Well, I guess the question you have to answer is the 8-game suspension worth that whole large contract?
Yeah, basically, that's the question.
I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. One last thing, that fully guaranteed at $240 million. What the hell?
Especially when they're still facing suspension. Yeah. One last thing in football. Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit confirmed going to Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football commentary team. Yep.
So I've said before in the show that I am a fan of Al Michaels, right?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, he's one of the most legendary voices in all sports.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know if I've ever told you guys this, but I'm not really that big of a fan of Kirk Herbstreit.
I'm not either.
I mean, the fact I was saddened when you told me that he, had problems dealing with Lee Corso. How do you have problems dealing with Lee?
Lee Corso is like, why am I forgetting his name all of a sudden?
I want to go. I wish I had a mascot head on here so I could just put one on.
Yeah, that's like arguing with Santa Claus. I mean,
what's his name was running the NFL coverage? Who's the guy I can't remember who keeps retiring on and off? That's been doing the ESPN NFL coverage forever. Oh my god, I forgot his name. Whatever.
You gotta help us out here. There's plenty of ESPN.
Yeah, you gotta have.
The guy with the Raiders. What the hell's the guy's name?
Chris Berman.
That's it. Thank you. Like it's like Chris Berman, just like where you just. How can you hate Chris Berman? Yeah, how can you hate Chris Berman?
Although he's not as genial. He's not exactly as genial as Lee Corso, because everybody loves Lee Corso. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's true. No, they're too busy liking Stephen A. Smith.
It's gonna feel weird having to go onto a streaming service to watch NFL football, which has always been, with the exception of Monday Night Football and stuff, on free, network television.
Hey, the Giants can play on Amazon Prime, and then I could just go right onto Prime, buy myself a glass of Bullet Rye, and drink the pain away.
By the way, if Amazon
Giants football, would you like a bigger bottle of whiskey?
Now, I'm lucky enough to have Amazon. We have Amazon, but do you really think I'm going to go on and watch a game on Thursday night?
They think we are. And they're banking millions of dollars on us being so desperate for Thursday Night Football that we will do that.
I heard Al Michaels might be getting in the 20 range.
As in 20 million.
Yes, 20 million. Is that insane?
That is kind of crazy.
No,
That is kind of crazy.
I'll bring up baseball for a second because they're doing this too. You really think someone's going to watch a doubleheader on Apple TV exclusively on a Friday night, especially when we come out of COVID? No.
No, I mean the appeal of Apple TV. Watching on Apple TV. I mean, again, the thing about the NFL, again, like I said, most of their broadcasts are on network television. People can watch that for free on Sundays. That's one of the big appeals. You don't need.
And by the way, also, is anyone going to watch 11:30 a.m. games on Peacock?
On the East Coast? No. On the West Coast, they're used to it.
Okay, you want to talk about baseball? Then let's just hop right into baseball. Let's talk about some free agency moves. The biggest one from the past week: Trevor Story signing a 6-year, $140 million contract with the Red Sox. Now, I'm not surprised, but I'm also surprised.
Me too.
I'm not surprised because this is the traditional. The Yankees just made a big move, like with the Donaldson and IKF move. Okay, we're going to make a big move on our own. But I thought, and I even expressed this in the minutes, I thought maybe Houston would have been desperate after losing Correa to fill their shortstop positioning, and they would have gone after a Trevor Story.
Yeah, I did too. But you know what? It shows what they think of. I mean,
although to give credit, I should explain. Trevor Story is no longer going to play shortstop. The Red Sox are going to keep Xander Bogaerts. Story is going to slide second.
So it's going to be like an A-Rod kind of situation.
Exactly.
Where he had to move from short to third.
I think they made the signing because Xander Bogaerts is going to be on the way out anyway. So that's part of the big shortstop market that's coming back out in the next offseason. Carlos Correa, depending on what happens, as long as he's not hurt, I think he hits the market after the next season. I think he opts out.
That's a bold prediction.
If he has, the kind of season they're banking him on having, he's probably going to opt out.
So the shortstop market is going to be bigger than ever.
But at a certain point, gentlemen, I think, it wasn't surprising to me because I didn't think that the Yankees were going to offer that kind of.
No.
It wasn't necessarily the dollar amount that they gave him. I really think it was the length commitment because I've never seen them prospect hug like this. They really, 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 really love Ozzie Peraza and Anthony Volpe.
Yeah.
I think this is a mistake. They needed to sign somebody. And I don't consider Anthony Rizzo a high-grade sign, to be quite honest, because that was one of their own that they got in a trade. So that's not really
Neither did they.
So, I get it why they didn't get Freddie Freeman because that was 6 years at 32 years old. That would have been a high risk. I understand that. But the Correa thing, I kind of get too because I'm surprised how much he signed for with the Twins. That kind of threw me off. If the Yankees could have gotten that deal, they probably should have signed it.
In fact, they did. They offered, I think, a deal that was similarly structured to that.
And I know you can't put a lot of stock into spring training, but guys, it's not the offense and the infield that I'm very concerned about.
Pitching.
I'm really concerned about this pitching. I'll deliver a hot take. I think the Yankees will either be the final wild card speed or they will miss the playoffs this season.
I agree.
That is definitely a hot take. I would feel a lot more comfortable.
I think the Blue Jays. I'm scared of the Blue Jays, honestly.
The Blue Jays. Let's just say it now, because I'm sure we're going to do a preview show for baseball at some point. I think we have one more show before the season starts. So the Blue Jays are number one. The Rays I consider number two. It's kind of like a toss up between the Red Sox and the Rays for 2 and 3. And
I would want to put the Yankees on 3, but this pitching so far is concerning to me.
And they're having injuries. Their catcher's injured.
The catcher's injured, but again, what were you? Ben Broadford was just your backup anyway.
In other news,
Okay,
in other news, let's go through some of the others. Interesting signings going on. The same day, Ronald Torreyes, an old friend of ours, re-signed with the Phillies, minor league contract. Brandon Drury signing minor league contract with the Reds. Oliver Perez, minor league deal with the D-backs. Let's see. Oh, Tommy Pham's going back to the Reds. 1 year, $7.5 million. Andrew Miller retired. Oh yeah, that's right. The Blue Jays. Something happened with the Blue Jays. Oh yeah, they got Raimel Tapia and Adrian Pinto from the Rockies in exchange
For Randall
Randall.
Grichuk. So,
For Grichuk.
so he finally gets the hell out of the AL East, and he can stop killing the Yankees.
And then but you know what? I think Tapia's a guy, because I had to follow him for fantasy baseball purposes. Tapia's a guy you might want to have an eye on. He is a guy, I know it's a little crowded over there, but he can have some, power and speed.
Yeah, I unfortunately, not unfortunately, I think that the Blue Jays are kind of the Brooklyn Nets of MLB, where they're looking to add pieces to a dangerous.
And I think they have a little fire under their asses after missing the playoffs game 162.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the Blue Jays are going to embarrass the Yankees this year in a lot of ways, including if Aaron Judge doesn't play. You might as well just write off the Yankees now against the Blue Jays.
And one last one. Tyler Clippard, familiar face here to New York with the Yankees and Mets, signing a minor league deal with Washington.
So,
right, but that's not the big issue now. Let's talk about this.
Oh God! Wait a minute.
Decides to go. You know what? Remember I said last week, if it ain't broke, don't break it.
No, if it's not broken,
break it.
Yeah, well, he broke it a ton. He broke it so far that I think. Actually, you know what? I think he dug the slow route to China trying to fix this.
I think it wasn't even broken though. I mean, if it ain't broke, break it. They should have that phrase crocheted on a pillow.
Well, I was going to say, Tom, I think, had it right in the promo where it's just like, how many times are you going to change the rules? Like, I thought we were done. The Ghost Runner, I guess it kind of made sense during the pandemic because they didn't want them all out there for a long period of time. But we're in a different...
Again, because they think, oh, let's speed up the game. Let's try to appeal to this younger market with shorter attention spans when nothing has been working.
Wait a minute. But that's not the case. I can contradict that point because in the seventh inning stretch and before and after the games, they're putting entertainment out there. So they're totally contradicting themselves to keep people interested.
So therefore, again, that's not a bug. That's a feature.
Can we just send, like I said, I think it was the last episode, can we just send Rob Manfred to Colorado because he can just get high with everybody else over there?
I mean, he's making these rules like he's smoking something, and whatever it is.
I don't get it. And the Shohei Ohtani rule, which, by the way, benefits one team, the Angels.
Well, I mean, maybe it opens up the appeal that maybe we can have more two-way players in the future. Right now, yes. Right now, it only benefits the Angels, and the Angels need a lot of benefits to go in their way. They don't deserve Shohei and Mike Trout, honestly.
I mean, call me old-fashioned. I don't like the two-way player. That's just me. Sorry, I don't like it.
In my opinion, if you're going to get rid of the pitcher setting and have the universal DH, I'm perfectly fine with two-way player.
But it makes no sense. And they still haven't answered the question that I've put out there. What happens when they have to replace say the DH, say it's not the pitcher, and the DH has to go into the game for whatever reason, like if it's a catcher? They still haven't said what the rule is.
I think it would just be the standard. They lose the DH.
But would the pitcher have to go back in the lineup? Is that the only time that would happen?
I don't know. Don't look at me.
I'm just wondering.
He's not the one who made those rules.
I'm speculating. I'm saying what I don't. It's a weird thing, and the Ghost Runner is just dumb because now you have to affect the ERAs again, even though they say, well, the ERAs don't count when the Ghost Runners are on base. Huh?
You know what? Why don't you just cut out the middleman and just have a conga line? Have a man at every base and just have a conga line down late.
Wait a minute. That reminds me of the Bugs Bunny gif.
Yeah.
Where they're just running around the bases.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
All right, we have a couple more stories to get through, just kind of in other news bits. But I want to talk about this, guys. I want to talk about St. Peter's. I want to talk about this magical run that is going on. This has been one of the most insane marches I've ever seen, and I think they're at the forefront of the insanity.
By the way,
They are.
I think St. Peter's deserves this. By the way,
They absolutely did, because I mean they came out of nowhere. I mean, beating who did they upset to start all this?
Kentucky.
Upsetting
Kentucky is one thing. Upsetting, beating
Kentucky,
beating Purdue,
Murray State. Didn't they
Kentucky,
upset
Murray State and Purdue?
Purdue, and now they might be on the precipice of upsetting North Carolina.
I mean, here's the thing. For a second, because think about the journey St. Peter's has had. So, firstly, Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference Tournament. It looks like Rick Pitino and Iona are going to do it, because Iona always does it, and then they have the legendary coach after his fall from grace. And then Ryder upsets them. Have to throw a shout out to my alma mater. So that helps St. Peter's to the conference title. Then they get pegged as a 15 seed. Coming on Kentucky. Okay, we know what's going to happen here. This is the big job matchup to get Coach Calipari and, the Kentucky, the big powerhouse, into the next round. No! St. Peter's pulls off the upset. Then they take out Murray State. Then they take out Purdue, which means they've taken out a 2 seed and a 3 seed. And now they're about to play North Carolina for a spot in the Final Four. So
I think there's momentum too.
They have momentum. Doug Eater, getting the NIL with Buffalo Wild Wings as a result of what he's been doing, as his sharp shooting and his personality. And speaking of personality, I just love how Shaheen Holloway, shows off his guys. Like, we're not underdogs. We're just playing how we play. We can win this.
I mean, nobody expected them to do this, so they're pretty much playing with house money the entire way. And can you imagine the boost that the school is going to get from this?
They already have. They already have.
Yeah, they already have.
And by the way, I think the best matchup would be Duke St. Peter's if we got to that point.
I that's the thing. I know everybody is kind of, I shouldn't say everybody, but there are people out there who are hoping, for a Duke UNC Final Four matchup because Coach K is retiring. And yes, that would be great. But I think, I don't know if it's just local and, alumnus, bias, but I feel like St. Peter's Cinderella run is just more better of a story, because we can always have Duke UNC any other year. Something like what's going on with St. Peter's might come once in a lifetime.
That's what's great. That's what it shows off the potential of what the March Madness can be, and
exactly.
That's what it's all about.
Oh, by the way,
anything could happen.
By the way, Joe Visile, who's actually director of media relations and broadcasting over at the Hudson Valley Renegades, some of the Yankees minor league affiliate, and does stuff with Bucknell, says every Metro Atlantic school, the MAAC, is about to get about $812,000 over the next year from NCAA units because of what St. Peter's is doing in this run.
We're in the money.
I mean, it's definitely going to help the school. I would like it to help the students.
When you see what's going on with the NILs, it's definitely going to help the students.
Oh, wait a minute. You saw how
I really did.
On the news, you've seen how small that school is. Can you imagine what $812,000 is going to do?
Yeah, the Metro Atlantic, those aren't big schools. I think the biggest one I can think of is, I think maybe, I don't know. I haven't seen what Iona's gym looks like. I think Siena plays their games at the Times Union Center in Albany. I think that's the biggest.
Right.
Other than that, I know my experience at Ryder and St. Peter's, they play in small college or high school looking like gymnasiums.
And I was going to say about St. Peter's. St. Peter's is the poster child for playing hard, just going at it and competing. And also, one thing that people are leaving out, no NBA projected in the draft. None. Zero.
Give support.
That may be about to change.
Give support to mid-major basketball. I'm telling you. You can watch your Dukes and UNCs any other time, but mid-major college basketball, there is a fun to it.
I mean, talk about a real dogfight.
And you didn't even have to get run over for that to happen.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fighting, how's Jorge Masvidal and Conor McGregor both getting arrested?
Oh,
in the same week?
wait. They're calling. They're calling to say, don't talk about us.
We almost talked about this on Beyond the Bench the other day, but I specifically left it out of the lineup because I wanted to see Mr. UFC squirm.
What the fuck is going on here?
Well, let's start with
You'll never take me alive.
Let's start with Jorge Masvidal, just because
I need to ask a question. Did he beat up his opponent?
Okay, let's go through the whole story. So earlier this month, we had the UFC pay-per-view where Masvidal got embarrassed by Colby Covington.
Badly.
Yes. Now here's the story. Here's the strange thing. There has been no amateur footage releases. You would think with something like Masvidal and Covington, there would be some amateur, some phone footage,
I saw something on the shocker. TMZ put out a small video clip where they were out in public. I think they were out in front of a bar or some kind of place. And I read in the story that he basically sucker punched him in the face.
Okay, so the story goes that Colby Covington was having dinner with the Nelk Boys, who are a podcast who actually attend a lot of UFC events. They were at the Poppy Steak Restaurant, no relation to Poppy from Levitard. Sorry, you don't get the show.
You don't get the show.
And the police report has that basically Masvidal allegedly ran up to Covington and struck him twice, resulting in a fractured tooth and an abrasion on the wrist.
So you basically beat him up.
That's the story. I don't know. I'm surprised again. I'm surprised there's been no amateur, somebody else, another patron who had like a cell phone out or something. You would think with their name, something like that would come out, but no. All we've seen is basically.
Hey, I'm getting the shit beat out of me by Jorge Masvidal.
The only clip we have right now is Masvidal basically running his way into the police station to try and avoid all the cameras, but there was no avoiding the cameras, and his mugshot's out there, so. All right, let's talk about Mr. McGregor, because no, he didn't beat anybody up. No, this is a motor vehicle
traffic violation.
Yes, traffic violations.
What the fuck is going on here?
Apparently, a man in his 30s who the Irish Times an Irish independent newspaper is reportedly saying it's McGregor, was arrested for, quote, an incident of dangerous driving. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any details on it. It's just a dangerous driving. So probably was driving recklessly.
I want to see what an Irish traffic stop is. Do you know how fast you were going, boy?
Could you imagine? The scary part is this is the most minor of arrests for Conor McGregor. This is the most minor of things compared to the rest.
You mean like putting a stool through a bus?
You're going 65 in a 47 zone.
You're gonna get points on your license.
Don't you read the sign, boy? I'll get you some glasses.
Oh God, what is happening?
Right. Very last thing, because we got to wrap up. Nick, Mr. Tennis here. I want you to. This is amazing. Made millions of dollars. You're going to retire from tennis at 25.
So in the world of tennis, we're seeing a lot of weird issues. We saw what's her name who disappeared mysteriously.
Naomi Osaka.
No, the one who disappeared in China.
Oh, what's her name?
Peng Shui? Yeah, yes. Peng Shui disappeared in China, and that became a whole story. By the way, we still don't know what's up with her. And then you have Naomi Osaka, who's still going through mental health issues. She was at her last match. She complained to the referee, saying, fans are booing me.
Oh, by the way, actually, sorry to go back to UFC for a second, but breaking news, Nate Diaz is asking for his UFC release.
Oh, I saw that about a half an hour ago. I was going to tell you. I didn't know if you saw it. But this situation, the tennis world, and I hate to say this, people are going to get mad at me. The tennis world has kind of become a little soft. And
it's hard not to sound like an old guy yelling at clouds, though.
No, but I'm serious. Like Naomi Osaka has made millions of dollars, and she's complaining about fans in the stands, and it's affecting her
but the
mental.
conversation is not about Naomi Osaka. It's about
No.
I could do that.
First of all, Ash Barty went out on top in every way, shape, or form. She's the number one player.
Ash Barty, I wish I had Ash Barty's life at this point. She
Yeah,
doesn't have to work
seriously.
another day in her life.
The fact that I get to do nothing and I've got a lot of money and I'm 25. Are you kidding?
The younger than us.
For that opportunity.
But the way I look at this is she went out on top. She's been number one for a while. She won the Australian Open. She said her dream was to win the Wimbledon. She did that. I mean, she pretty much accomplished what she needed to accomplish in the sport. And by the way, tennis players are some of the hardest trained athletes. I hate to say this. Sorry, MLB, NFL. Tennis players are trained around the clock all year. They have to be. They play all year. Go ahead, throw tomatoes at me, anyone who doesn't agree with me. But tennis athletes are the toughest trained. So
we don't have tomatoes, but we do have this. And that's going to do it for this edition of Empty the Bench. Make sure to, hit that like button. If you are watching us on Twitter, make sure to like the episode and retweet it to spread it out. If you're watching us on Facebook, make sure to like the episode and share it to do the same. Make sure to like the page as well. And if you're watching on our home on YouTube, make sure to like. And when you like, after you like, hit that subscribe button. And when you subscribe, make sure to ring the bell so you get notifications for every time we go live for Empty the Bench, or for Beyond the Bench, or The Hearst Show, or Game On, or Here Now the News, or Living Life, anything from the Empty the Bench podcast.
Keeping it real. Yeah.
Keeping it real
By
as
the way,
well.
And by the way, we forgot about this because I totally was not thinking of the episode. Make sure you go check out our sponsor, Knack, as well. That deal is still out there. If you put in the code BENCH, you get a $15 value TSA-approved lock for free when you buy a bag. And these bags are very nice, by the way.
Yeah, make sure to go to knackbags.com. Make sure to order whatever bag of your choice, like the one Nick is holding, and make sure to order the TSA lock. And then when you're checking out, you'll use the promo code BENCH, and that lock, which is a $15 purchase, you'll get for free.
Yeah, don't miss it. That deal's going to be on. Actually, I found out that deal's going to be going in through April. So make sure.
So you've got time. So make sure you get yours today.
But make sure you get it before time runs out.
Exactly.
So, yeah, make sure you get it. We're doing a lot of good things with Knack. There's a lot of other things coming along the way. We're talking with a lot of companies as well. So there's going to be more coming. I promise you.
So just
I feel
ring
like
the
a
bell.
TV infomercial. Don't wait, act now. Our operators are standing by.
And by the way, I can announce one show that's actually because I have a starting date for it.
Okay.
So I was telling the guys about a gambling show because we need to get in the gambling space. That's a big thing in podcast land. So I forgot to do a banner. That's how off the top of my head this is. Inside the Numbers with Danny B will be starting on the Empty the Bench podcast network. It's the day before the MLB season. I think that's April 7th. So
April 6th, yeah.
Or April 6th.
No. So Danny B's show would start on April 6th then.
I thought the season starts on the 8th, doesn't it? Or is it the 7th? I don't know.
Okay, let's have a look. It's the 7th. I'm telling you, it's the 7th.
Oh, okay. I'll
7th.
take your word for it. Okay. So, all right. So, Inside the Numbers with Danny B will start on the Empty the Bench podcast network on April 6th. And you're going to get not one show a week, but 2 shows a week. Except for this week, the first show only. It starts the day before the season. After the first week, it'll be Monday and Friday.
So
all about gambling.
So you're gonna get double the dose of Danny B. So make sure you like and subscribe.
Actually, triple the dose. Triple the dose since it's 2 episodes. So you'll get 2 episodes and you'll get Keeping It Real.
Yeah.
Take that double mint gum.
Yeah. Well, what was that commercial? The Trident Layers back in the day where the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I wish you'd pay me in gum.
Oh God.
We're going off the rails talking about gum. I think this episode.
All right, let's go. Let's wrap up here. So, Nick Morganson, Nick Federa, on Tom Vandal. We'll see you next time on Empty the Bench. Take care, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. See you next week.